Hello, I am Angelus Demonus, and I am here to do a short video on the best way to farm Empyrean Potsherds in Heaven on High, as well as a mention on what the ideal amount of Empyrean Potions you want to have to start a 1 to 100 solo run to get the Lone Hero title. I'll give a quick summary on the best methods to farm, some details on why you should do it, statistics on an average amount of how many Empyrean Potions you will use per job, and finally, unique ways to farm Potsherds that may not be the best way, but can still be fun. I'll get straight to the point. The most ideal way to farm Empyrean Potsherds is to start a floor 21 to 30 match party, as you get a guaranteed Potsherd every time you clear floor 30. The ideal amount of Empyrean Potions to start a 1 to 100 Lone Hero title attempt is between 400 to 500. Now let's go over some details. Because you can enter floor 21 to 30 over and over, it makes it the ideal spot to farm your Empyrean Potsherds. As you go in as a match party, get your team to floor 30, get your Potsherd. It would be ideal as a match party simply because 4 people should always clear faster than solo no matter the group. The major difference between Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High concerning Potsherds is in Palace of the Dead, you will probably not have to go out of your way to farm Potsherds each attempt you take. Heaven on High, however, you will probably need to set aside extra time to restock Empyrean Potions between fresh runs. This is because you have less floors to find bronze chests, and you will start using Empyrean Potions way sooner than you would in Palace of the Dead. Even though Empyrean Potsherds increase their drop rate the higher you go in Heaven on High, you will normally either go neutral or negative compared to what you start with on average. I checked back on my clear attempt videos, and I noted down how many Empyrean Potions I used per job. I hope this will give you guys a rough understanding of the amount of Empyrean Potions you'll want depending on the job you pick. Bear in mind these are my own attempts, so numbers can vary depending on the runner. For the tank jobs, I have used the following. For Dark Knight, I used between 19 and 227. 19 because I did a recent run on Dark Knight where I tried to limit my use of Empyrean Potions. I'll discuss that a little bit later. For Warrior, I used 228. For Paladin, I used 326. For Gunbreaker, I used 366. For the physical range jobs, I had used the following. For Machinist, I used 318. For Bard, I used 381. For Dancer, I had used 462. For the caster jobs, I had used the following. For Red Mage, I used 420. For Summoner, I had used 420. For Black Mage, I used 514. For the melee jobs, I had used the following. For Monk, I used 378. For Ninja, I used 383. For Dragoon, I used 409. For Samurai, I used 464. For the healer jobs, I had used the following. For White Mage, I used 241. For Astro, I used 270. For Scholar, I used 301. The total average Empyrean Potions I used between all the jobs was roughly 360, so in my opinion, having at least 400 to 500 Empyrean Potions before you start a serious Lone Hero title attempt run would be an ideal amount. But bear in mind, you may have to spend extra time in between fresh or new runs to replenish any Empyrean Potions you used up. Also, if you only start with 400, depending on the job you use, you may need to consider stepping outside to get more before continuing your run. I had mentioned earlier that I had used 19 Empyrean Potions on a clear attempt for Dark Knight. I did an experiment utilizing Dark Knight's exceptional defensive capabilities, specifically the Blackest Night, and tried to climb as far as I can go using as little Empyrean Potions as possible, and cleared using only 19 Empyrean Potions. I'll post a link in the comments below. If you wanted a unique method of farming Empyrean Potsherds instead of the floor 21 to 30 climb, try taking in a tank such as Dark Knight or Paladin, or any of the 3 healers, and see how far you can get without using any Empyrean Potions. It's a very fun challenge, and I honestly believe you'll learn a lot for your future runs doing it in this method. I hope this information will help answer the question of what is the best way to farm Empyrean Potsherds, as well as how many you should start with for a solo attempt. If anything is confusing or not clear, please leave a comment below and I will clarify anything that I have said. Good luck on the climb.